What was the sin of Babel? There's quite a bit of interpretation and opinions on this one. Some say it was because they were trying to get to heaven. Some say they were using new technology for evil. Others believe it was because they all spoke in the same language. The oddest I've ever heard is that they were building a spaceship or a interdimensional portal to heaven. Really? Yep, that is actually a view some have. Most people get at least one part right when they notice that they were doing it for themselves and not for God. But that is not all that's going on in this interesting text. In Genesis 11 and verse 3 it says, "And they said to one another, 'Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly.' And they had brick for stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, 'Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. And let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth.'" As you can see, there's a lot going on here. But the problem in understanding this text is that most people only read verses 1 through 9 and then try to interpret. But let's think about this. If I buy a book and I only read half a page of the book, can I really be successful in understanding what I just read? Of course not. I need to read the beginning to the end. The same is true with the book of Genesis. Let's move back to chapter 9 after the great flood. In chapter 9 and verse 1 it says, "And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.'" We read that God 2 chapters before Babel instructs man to multiply and fill the earth. Now notice the last part of what the people of Babel said, "Lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." Man did not want to separate and fill the earth as God had instructed. They wanted to stay in one place and build a city. They were all unified and disobeying God. So God then divided the languages, and his will was thus fulfilled. Notice the last verse of Babel in verse 9. "Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord dispersed them over the face of all the earth." Just imagine, if man had only obeyed God and his commandment to Noah and his sons, then the world today would possibly have one language or many similar ones. So to put it simply, what was the sin of Babel? It was disobedience to God.